But if you want to experience joy, and if you want to experience God's joy, then give him your time and your attention. Any relationship, even one with God, is going to grow only with time and attention. Right? If I never spend time with you, or when I do, I constantly ignore you, our friendship is just not going to grow. Right? And today it's getting so much easier for us to justify not simply spending time with God because we're so busy. Right? There's projects to finish, there's groceries to get, kids to drop off at school or practice, dragging yourself to the gym or going to class, doing homework, and so much more. Right? There's just so much for us to do already. And then when we finally do have a break from all that, we've convinced ourselves that the way we rest is through binge watching Netflix or doom scrolling Facebook or watching hundreds or thousands, I don't know how many, of TikTok reels, or losing ourselves in a game. So we're too busy to give God our time because we have things to do, and we believe that distraction and escape is how we rest. But that life, as so normal as it is for us today, will never actually lead us to experiencing God's joy. I do not have a life hack for us today. Just the reminder that this is the reality. If you want God's joy in your life, you're going to have to make time for him. Likely by losing time from somewhere else, though it doesn't need to be much to start with. And you'll likely have to make time through doing just mundane, basic things like talking to him, which we call prayer, or thinking about or reading the Bible, or gathering with his people who are also trying to be with him. And if any of those things are new for you, any of us would be delighted to help you learn how to be with God in those ways. Not just to find joy, but also to find life. So again, first step to, I think, finding joy is to behold him. The second step of finding God's joy is to yield to him. Simply put, I think this means trusting him over ourselves, even if it's hard, uncomfortable, or scary. Because if he truly is love and joy, then we know that whatever he asks must be good, even if we can't see it or understand it or it hurts. The reality, is that God is just bigger than you, right? He's a lot smarter. He's a lot wiser. He's capable of so much more. And his love for you is so much deeper and genuine and more true than your own. Now, we often make the mistake of believing that being a follower of Jesus means just knowing certain facts, right? God exists, check. Jesus died on a cross and rose again, check. God has forever loved and delighted in his Son through and with the Spirit, good job, check. But you know what? The demons know all these things even better than you do, and they, to quote James, shudder when they think of it, because they will not yield to God. Unless we yield to God, unless we trust him, even if we are trying to give him our time and attention, we will not experience his joy. And that is often the failure of making Christianity a religion. We have to let go. We have to trust. We have to yield. The final step of experiencing God's joy is actually a normal word this time. It is to rest in God's love and joy. Practically, I think this means accepting that it's true and letting it be. Right, going back to Nehemiah, this was the step that I think he found the people lacking. After rebuilding the walls, they had gathered together to hear what God had to say, right? So they decided to give him their attention, their time. And as they understood what it meant, their hearts broke as they repented, and then they worshiped together. And so in that way, they began yielding to him. And then Nehemiah steps up and says, you know what? It is now time to party, because you need to rest in and accept his joy instead of your own. You may have no joy in yourself today, and yet God is overflowing with love and joy, and he wants to share it with you. It's who he is. His joy will be your strength, though you have none. Right? We must let him delight in us somehow. We may not understand it, we may doubt it, but God's joy is true and real and wonderful and always a mystery. So we can truly rest in it. So, will you search for God's joy? Right? Will you give him your time and attention and behold him? Will you trust him more than you do yourself or anything else and yield to him? And will you let him delight in you and rest in him? That God could love and delight in you, again, may seem impossible. But it is who he is, right? Who he's ever been and who he always will be. And we know it because of Jesus, his son, whom he's always loved and had joy in. So let's not give up in searching for him.